actually had to send, my deposits are normally non-refundable. So I cover myself in that aspect. But like the final payments, if people pay me in full and they end up canceling, I have to send it back, dude. I have to. That's my obligation, And
Yeah.
it's been tough, yeah, for sure. It's been wild.
Yeah,
I hear.
I hear it.
Yeah, hey, oh, hey. Sadie girl, what's up? No, so Mo, you finally make it home?
I'm walking into the house, taking stuff in the house.
Are we gonna get the reaction of your wife live with the flowers?
Um,
Does she have
no.
a bird? Does she? He said no.
That's
I was gonna
negative.
say, how perfect would it be if she had a Berg Boys or Berg Girls tee on, and
Oh
and
yeah,
you
no, she's actually doing work right now, and I can't show her because she's not fully clothed. But neither is my baby, who's actually
running
coming
around.
outside right now without his diaper.
Ooh, shit. Sounds about
So
right. Dad life.
yeah, young man always likes to come outside, but he doesn't like to wear a diaper either. Oh my gosh.
Oh
Jay,
my
get your little butt back in the house. Oh, he's
God.
running.
He's running away.
Come on, man.
Oh,
Bro, he's out here with no clothes on.
yeah, that's look at these. Look at these. Look at these two. Look. Sadie, look. Say hi. Say hi. Hey, say hi. That's too funny, man. They're getting big.
Where Sadie's gonna be running in a minute.
Oh yeah, bro. She be standing already. It's just once she catch that balance, it's over.
Oops.
So I'll get the plate.
All right, so let me see.
Oh my goodness, Sadie girl. Yeah, so
All
I
right,
don't know
cool.
if you guys are listening, but we had some audio issues in the beginning, but we were telling you guys the main reason that we were late is because Motor was getting his wife some flowers, right? And we all had to watch the live broadcast of the protests going on down in East Liberty. Motor, where they went from Target to Mayor Peduto's house, and it was what were they chanting, Chris? Hey, hey, ho. Yeah, he got to go. Yeah, that shit's crazy. Unbelievable. I never in my life would have expected. I mean, I could see it coming. But being a Democratic mayor, that's rare to see it happen to somebody like that. Definitely crazy.
Well, I mean, as long as he's been in office, there's been some questionable things he's done, um,
Exactly.
and mainly with his representation, like what he's for and what he's against.
Right.
Um, or should I say misrepresentation? Because he's there's his stances on a few things have been pretty weak. So like now people really want him to step it up or get the hell up out of here. And at this point, they're just ready for him to bounce.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. No, but I was gonna say too, the whole aspect of like they already caught on, bro, because when those people protesting, they got to his house, there was already officers there. It was awesome. Look at these. Look at you. What are you doing? What are you doing? She's staring. She's like, she could see you. She's like, what's Mo doing?
Alert, alert.
Yep. Oh, yeah. You could take over the show if you want. If you want. We don't have a guest this week, so it's just us. What are you doing? Yeah, Mo. What you been up to? I know you dropped a song. What song you dropped?
So I just dropped the EP.
Oh,
A
I didn't know it was an
9-track
EP.
EP.
For real?
Yeah, yeah,
I
9-track
thought it was
EP.
that song. I thought there was. I only saw the one song.
Oh, no, it's 9-track EP. It's available on all platforms, all streaming platforms. You can check it out on Instagram, Twitter. Instagram, Twitter. You can check it out on Spotify and Apple Music, whatever one you use.
Yeah.
The artist's name is YB. Um, my man Bubby from SCR, and I'm excited, man. We dropped it on my birthday.
You're right. That is what it was. That's what it was. I do remember because that was
Yeah.
the softest. That was that soft listening I could have went to.
Uh, I get it.
Hi Mo. I got more of you than I need.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Come on, Daddy. Daddy, I'm just trying to play video games, Daddy.
Yo, why ain't my headset connected?
Cause it's boof, bro. It's boof. You don't got a Jabra headset. Shout out to Jabra, by the way. I sell Jabra headsets, and this is one of them. It's Evolve 65. Hit me up. Yeah, that's the shameless plug right there. Yeah. Let me know. I got Plantronics ones, whatever you want.
We good now.
No, hey Mo, seriously though, with all this shit that's been going on,
No way you can text me.
I do have to say that our music scene, I don't know if you saw this or not. The City Theater, I believe, is one of the people that are going to be hosting it, but they're having a big outdoor event in September. That's
yeah.
gonna be like COVID regulations and everything. I'm
So
pretty
like
excited.
actual people there.
Yeah, and it's gonna be like a big ass fucking stage. It's gonna be crazy.
Hmm.
They just put it out. I think like the city paper got.
Are we a part of that at all?
I don't think we are. We didn't get
That
asked
sucks.
to. I know several artists in the city
we
who got
reach out?
asked. I mean, yeah, I'd assume so.
I mean, if anybody from that entity is watching right now, please hit us
Yeah,
up.
I mean,
We'd love to be a part of that.
I know several artists that we've have association with that got asked to be involved in it. So it should be really cool. I know the one local artist, they haven't announced it, that's why I'm not dropping their name, but I think they said they had like a 90-minute set, bro. Like an actual, like a real set for real. Like, yeah.
Who has that? That's a headline set.
I can't say it because they haven't put it out yet.
Oh, okay, all right.
They haven't released the details yet.
It must be somebody. It must be somebody we both know then.
Oh, absolutely, yeah,
Okay.
for sure, yeah.
Shout out to them.
And they're getting paid too. Like it's not like it's like a decent check. Like,
oh well, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was pretty geeked. I was like, to hear about it, I'm like, wow, that's awesome that they're able to do that throughout all this, like trying to make it happen.
Facts. I would love for like, and this is the one problem I have with the scene here is that people like us who are active in the industry, the music scene, and the music industry in the city, there's not enough, like there's not enough of
Are you scared of me?
like us being inserted in this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, and we're not the only ones that's on the outside of it. I feel like there's some other people and other groups and stuff like that.
There's a bunch. I mean,
but
to
there's
be honest,
no real, you know what I mean? Like, the pot is just like open for anybody to do stuff, and then it's like, all right, well, what about so and so? What about the Bird Boys? What about, you know what I'm saying?
No, yeah,
like, I feel like there should be more of a
well, let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. I mean, the reason it is that way, let's talk about it in a realistic light. I don't mind throwing people under the bus. I mean, I've worked in this city long enough. I'll do it. I don't ever do it, but like for a conversation like this, it's just something that would need to be said. Um, look at look at all the look at all the venues across the board that we've had. Okay, right. And now I'm just speaking relatively. I'm speaking after Shadow Lounge existence. Okay, so Shadow Lounge closes, and all we have are like Alter Rex. Yeah, you have Mr. Smalls, which okay, and then you have obviously Stage AE. You have Smiling Moose. You have Club Cafe. You had Brillo Box, Boom Concepts, for instance. Okay, and obviously I'm missing some, but those Cativo down in Lawrenceville as well. Spirit, like, but see, this is think about this, right? All those places that I've named, who ran majority of those as far as being the people that were throwing the shows? It was normally Drusky that was throwing shows at Alter, at Rex,
Right.
at Smalls even.
They had
Like,
all the hip hop shows pretty much.
and if they didn't, it would be Opus One, right?
Right.
Opus One. And then if it wasn't them, you have to look at the spirit aspect of it, which was more of like recently was RB in them, but like prior to that, there was it was more them doing it themselves and having freelance people coming and doing it. Justin Strong took over that place once Shadow Lounge closed, so he did a lot of work there. But it's one of those things to where, like, if you look at these venues, even like Club Cafe, Smiling Moose, that was all like tied into kind of Drusky in a sense, or like it kind of just came down to you had to know the right people to get into these places. But once you did, you were able to get into it without them and pay the deposit to do it yourself.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So it's always kind of been that way in a sense, but there's always been certain people that kind of had that main level of promotion for the place, if that
I
makes
agree.
sense. So
I think that is unfortunate because, like you said,
but I was going to say real quick, look at how they treated it though. Like, whereas like if me as a promoter, when we would do it, we wouldn't make people pay us to open or try and sell tickets. You know what I mean? Like, we would take it all on as a thing, and then we would make sure that we paid them all accordingly. You know what I mean? Whereas like with Drusky, with a lot of these other places, it's like you have to sell these tickets and you get a percentage of the ticket sale, which is always like $200. It's like, well, what the fuck? Like,
yeah,
you know
that's
what I
like
mean?
their max.
Right. And then like if you were a DJ, they knew I would be there, they wouldn't even offer to pay me to do the house DJ stuff. They would just ask you to do it in a sense. You know what I mean? Like, it was more of like that finesse move. So it's just always been like a struggle for our local scene. I feel like that for sure. You just got to be able to handle your business in accordingly manner. So like when they would try to do that to me, I'd be like, yeah, I'll do it, but like I would either have to get money from the artists who I'm DJing for, or I'm gonna have to make sure I get money from them. You know, it's how it is.
Right. I think the problem is exactly what you spoke on, the fact that it's so divided. We have Drusky, who Drusky Entertainment, they get a lot of the hip hop shows that come into Pittsburgh. At one point, I know they didn't really want to take the hip hop shows, but they were taking them just because. And they were saying that they weren't really making any money off of the hip hop shows. And then, like you said, Opus One, they get a lot of the events, not necessarily just the hip hop shows, but they get a lot of the events.
They do more stuff. I believe they were more with like Club Cafe and like and Mr. Smalls, like primarily, if that makes sense. But yeah, and they always had like different kinds of shows. Their shows were more like diverse in a sense.
Right. Like it was more of like a concert, like event type deal, whether it wasn't just a hip hop show. But what I want to say about that is that's why everything is so divided, bro, because you have a lot of individuals who become party promoters. Right. And they get in good with these venues and they start throwing hip hop shows, and it's like, okay, that's cool, but it's almost like being in in a league of our own. Like
Yeah.
they don't it's like almost like practice. Like it doesn't count when it comes to the grand scheme, like
Right. And
events like this, the city
that
event.
right, like this big city theater thing that they're doing, and it's pretty cool because like you see other like this is the thing that drives me insane, right? You see like a Drusky and an Opus and a even like Levels agency came in and just threw festivals and a couple hip hop shows here and there. But like then you see like Thrival Festival who do it huge, right?
Hmm.
But like where's Thrival with the small shit?
Right.
To me, like I get it. Trust me, I get it. I'm a business dude. I hustle. I do as much as I can. But it's hi bye. But at the end of the day, it's like I feel like if you could throw an event like that, why aren't you investing into our local community in a sense of even opening a venue or
Right.
just do local promotion for shows and get more locals involved because like
Right.
their lineups are good. Like Thrival does a great job with picking great local artists along with national artists. So like
Right.
that's a brand that I would like to see more involved in our local music scene. Like throwing these little shows at all these little different venues and like because they do it. They have the potential of doing it big. So
Right.
instead of just going big, why not work on the small too?
Well, that's why I said it sucks because locally we aren't really thought about even in our own city. Like,
Yeah.
some people stay on the radar, but it's always like it's almost like a who's hot, who's not type thing. Like, okay, this person, that person, and
Right.
this DJ is hot
Uh,
right now, so we're gonna have them. But
right.
then, like 6 months from now, forget about those guys. Like we aren't still working. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
You know what's crazy to me? I look back at all these posts that I bring them up again after we just talked to Ask Money. Oh, shout to Ask Money. He dropped a new video. Go check it out. Billy Hoyle, I just talked to. He's been dropping a bunch of old flyers, like Pittsburgh, like gems, bro, from back when like Time Bomb was throwing shows with like BZ, the rapper, and Mac and
mhm,
Boaz and S Money and Wiz and like bunch of different people, bro. And then you see like DJ Chef. They had like DJ Nick Nice. They had like dude, so many Fast Eddie, obviously. Like,
right,
but like the shit that they're posting, I'm thinking back and I'm like, bro, what's crazy is like nowadays it's very rare to see like there was a time where like mine and your names were on flyers consistently, but like as time goes on, it grows, and there's so many people like that are into it now that
mhm,
it, it's there's so many people to pick from, dude. Like,
true,
and that doesn't just go with DJs. That goes with camera people. That goes with videographers, photographers. That goes with graphic
artists,
people, artists, MCs, rappers, like everything, bro. Like
right.
it's been it's been very overpopulated for years, but like and oversaturated. But I always
Now
feel
I
like
feel like it's just broke. We broke it wide open some years
yeah,
ago.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. And I mean, obviously, like the people that work and have a name, you get you get noticed, but it's still like it is anybody's pot. That's why I always tell people like that. People hit me up every day, like, bro, can I learn to DJ? Like, be with the Heat, right? The producer, he's even
Have to be with the heat.
be with the Heat. He hit me up and he was like, yo, I want to start DJing. I'm like, do it. I was like, buy a controller. This is perfect one to buy. Told him everything he needed. He's like, well, what about software? I'm like, when you get that, it'll come with that. Just, it literally. And just like helping dudes out. Cause now look, I think he went and DJ'd a wedding, like in the middle of COVID. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
that's dope. Like I want to see people succeed. Like that's the thing. And there's enough money to be made out here that I think that's also the other problem though, is too many people are too selfish about it, but also I feel like everybody's lowballing one another in every industry,
Yeah.
and that's the other problem.
True.
So
True. And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no. It's almost like we're playing a game and nobody's keeping score, bro. I feel like you know, especially here because we live here. I notice how easily you can be forgotten if you're not in everyone's face. And this is one of the things that I kind of struggle with myself because, like, you know, I'm getting older. I'm not old, but you know, my birthday just passed last week.
Bro, let me be real. We're old. Like,
Bro,
we're
but
old.
let me finish. So
We're older in this. Like, when I'm 31 and you're older than me. So like, we're older in this shit. Like,
right, and that's
but
my
we've
point.
also been around the block, bro. Like, you've been in day-to-days, bro. And like, people are gonna like look at you and you're like, oh, I'm DJ Motorman. Well, I want this amount of money. Well, okay. Do you realize who you're booking? Like, I know I haven't been the best DJ. I know I haven't been around for the longest as a DJ. But like, do you realize who you are booking, right? Like, I I I've been in day-to-days with Wiz, my nephew. I'm his uncle. I've been around the block since Taylor Gang was around. I've been friends with Mac Miller. Like these are things that, like, it's just, I think the level of respect, to be honest, as far as folks past, like, for us, we respect our elders. Like, I look at
Right.
I look at Chef and like DJ Chef, and I look at Drastic and like dudes like that, and Big Phil and Selecta and like cats like that, and like, I mean, that
Utmost respect.
absolutely 110%. And if
But
they
our generation, bro, it's not necessarily our generation, but the generations below us.
yeah,
It's not the same
no,
you know, it's not reciprocated,
no.
bro. It's
I
like,
mean, if you want me to be 110% completely honest, let's look at, like, everyone looks at Edan, Big Germ, like goats, and they are goats, right? But there's still a select few producers who I feel like don't even genuinely understand and respect how much those two have done, if that
right,
makes sense.
right.
Like, and that's because they're so far disconnected from where this shit was, if that makes
Right.
sense. Like,
Well, and
you could even bring up like Lay Lansky to dudes, and they're like, who's
right.
Lay? And it's like, bro, like, are you kidding me? Like, government's fucking management, one of the biggest promoters back in the day for all of the
Yep.
nightclubs. Like it's baffling. Like, you talk about Fab Five, right? Like, some
Do you know
people,
how, like, you wouldn't even imagine, I mean, you would, but
yeah,
like the parties, you know what I'm saying? Like,
bro,
we
like
would go out every day of the week, any day of the week. And
legendary parties, bro.
a Fab Five party, you could have Wiz there, you could have HE there with Shig and Grimes and them, you
Oh
could
my
have S
God.
Money and the whole
Straight
government there.
Straight Bullet was in the picture back then too. All the
Yeah,
time.
my man Brick. Shout out to B Bricks. Like,
B
bruh,
Bricks,
like it
PK
was.
PK Poo from over in McKeesport and all them, bro.
Yes,
Like,
sir.
I remember PK Poo being one of the first dudes, I guess, from like that McKeesport area to even be on the original Whammo, like back in the day, like the Whammo. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, no, it's wild, bro. Like, and that's the thing. Like, PK Poo, that's somebody. Him at 4 Pound, 4 Pound, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, them are names like that ring bells over there in that area, bro. But like, you bring that shit up to other people, and they're like, "What the fuck? Like, who are you talking about?" Like, and that's the type of shit. Like, it's like, people. I don't think people know their music history, and I feel like being friends with like JKJ, for instance, he's like a fucking walking Pittsburgh encyclopedia of hip hop, bro. Like, he knows everything. Like, you start talking about this and that, and it's like, he'll be like, Spills, Pittsburgh hip hop started before Eastern Empire. I'm like, no fucking shit, you dumb fuck. Like, you know what I mean? But that's the type of shit he be saying, because that's the era I grew up in, like.
Yeah, and I mean, as you should talk about it, because that's the same way I feel. But I also look at it like, all right, it can be considered a golden era because of who rose from that era. So you had Wiz, who came out of that area. You
bro,
had Mac, who came out of that era
just,
right after that.
just think
And
about that, bro. You got Taylor Gang, right? You got Taylor Gang, right? Boom. Drop. And he's starting it from the very beginning, bro. Taylor Ganger die, all that shit, right?
right,
And the next thing you know, you have East End Empire, who is like all the other dudes from the city that are still like low, like names, like Vils, fucking Ghost, like everybody,
right.
bro. All of
The
them. B White,
58s
Mayo, the
rang
58s,
bells.
Fran, yeah. Oh, big time. But
And
like,
the crazy thing is they never even really got to do anything, bro.
no, bro.
They were on the bigger blogs before they even released real music. I mean, they probably released a couple singles or whatever, but bro, they were making noise outside of Pittsburgh
Big time.
that was unprecedented for a group.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they were being
Yep.
compared to a Wu-Tang
Oh yeah,
at the
they
time.
absolutely were. Absolutely, man.
And it
Like
was like they just self-destructed, bro, before they even got to really, you know what I'm
but see
saying,
that
take off.
But see, that's the thing though too, is like to me, when I look at it like as a self-destruct, I don't, because I look at it like we ended up getting an individual beatie out of it, like in a
Yeah,
sense, like afterwards. And then you ended up getting like the B White and Mayo. And then you ended
right,
up getting the Come Up Boys. Like it was all like even though everyone went their separate ways, like, and there might have been some like a little hostility, but amongst all of them, like we as people wouldn't know that, but
right.
like they all still supported each other. Like even to this day, dude, like every single one of those dudes, they all support one another. Like, and it's just it was all timing. Like we always talk about, it is. It's
Hmm.
timing. It's how shit happens, the way shit plays out. Like there's no agenda for us.
Right.
It's like you got to make shit shake, and when you have the more heads you have involved, the more shit can
More,
happen.
right,
Like yeah,
right. It's more of a liability. It's more
yeah, you got more
liabilities
emotions, you got more
because you don't
people
know
to
who's gonna be on what page, what day. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Absolutely, man.
I
Absolutely.
think that's one of the great stories that that never
Hi,
unfolded the
baby.
way we wanted it to because of personal stuff. But to look at a lot of the artists that were doing their thing, producers, engineers. Shout out to my man Josh Everett, who was not just an engineer at ID Labs, but also he was a writer. He was in
Yeah.
the studio writing music, doing hooks
Yep.
for people. You know what I'm saying? And Josh, me and Josh used to work on a lot of music before, I stopped doing it because for me it was something I love to do, whether I put the music out or not. It was
Right.
like, man, I'm always in the studio. So why not? You know what I'm saying? We collaborate, we do things. But what I want to say about that is what I mean about everything being divided, bro. Like everybody's been working and now I feel like it's like, all right, so that era where government, what that produced the government, Wiz, Mac, all those other artists that we named,
Yeah.
that era, it was like it was almost like a bubble over the city because
Yeah.
like everybody knew about the Gov, everybody knew about Wiz and all of those artists, but then once that bubble popped and Wiz got out of here and then Mac came out of it, um the city had somewhat of a spotlight on it, but the problem became every man still wanted to be for themselves.
Absolutely.
So it wasn't
100%.
like even after Mac, you still had artists who would say, "I'm trying to put the city on." And it's
Right.
like, what do you mean? The city is on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You put your people on, you put your neighborhood on, or whatever your family on. But
Right.
what do you mean put the city on? The city's
City's
already
already
on.
it's been on. It's been
Right.
on. Like
Right. And
it,
even before Wiz, it's been on,
oh
but
bro, our
it's just
city
not
was
to the magnitude. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
I mean, well, let's be frank. If you want to go way back, our city was Pittsburgh was an absolute amazing place for jazz. It was amazing for, I mean, Les Paul's come. I mean, just any big show. Look, we had Bob Marley. Bob Marley's last ever live concert was here in Pittsburgh. You
Facts.
know, it's one of those things that we've had. I mean, our local music scene here has been tremendous since back in the 50s, 60s, 70s.
True.
Like we've always had venues for folks to come to truly enjoy like a real live show. And
Nice.
I mean, this whole COVID stuff, it's trying on everybody. It's going to be really trying on our local scene. For anybody that's watching, I mean, if you can do whatever you can. I mean, I don't even get the city theater that is throwing that event. I know that they take like donations. Like that would be a
Word.
perfect place to go donate. I think it's like citytheater.com or org or something like that. But they have a place where you can donate. Like that would be a place for you to like, you know, at least you know your money's going towards something that's going to be keeping the city's theater atmosphere alive. Because it's
That face she's making.
Oh, she's the best, dude. She's like the happiest baby in the world. I can't complain, dude. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
man. I think you know what has changed since then about our local scene that I do like, and that I've noticed, especially since I was started DJing, is that people support the local music a whole lot more than they did before. Like,
Yeah.
I remember when Wiz and S and all of them was coming up, and when we would go out, it would be a struggle to get the DJs to play local music.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now, bro, every DJ is playing local music, and you get people that are coming up and saying, "Hey, can you play this? I want to hear this." They ask for local music almost more than they do, you know,
Industry
national
shit.
recording artists. So
Yeah.
That's one dope thing that's changed about the city.
I've definitely gotten that a lot more. Like even at like high school dances and shit, bro. Like I'm like, I can't fucking play Elm Street by my brother Wapo.
Right.
You know, like I have a clean version, but the clean version's still a little too dirty. I don't feel comfortable playing it. You know, like
Facts.
and then like they'll be like, oh, play stunner, blow bands. I'm like, are you fucking out of your mind?
You trying to get me
like,
fired?
Yeah. Do you want me to come back or no? Like, no, it's funny as hell because like it's the truth, bro. It's the truth.
Facts.
Big truth. But yeah, man,
Facts.
I'm gonna get out of here, man. I gotta go do some shit. So,
all right,
it's
no
been real.
problem. Thanks for tuning in.
Absolutely.
Make sure y'all tune in next week. We'll
guys-
have a guest next week. Little Mexico Beats.
That
producer.
big stepper.
Yeah, big stepper.
He did that big stepper by Rowdy Rich, bro.
Yeah, he got some
big stepper like
some
Big
hits.
Meech. Mm-hmm.
He got some hits. He got some radio hits. He got some album cuts that are crazy. So make sure y'all tune in next week. Promptly at 7:00 we'll be on.
Yeah, we won't be late this time. I promise.
Yeah.
My boys are always leaving me hanging, dog. Like, where the fuck is Flag at? He retweeted my post on Instagram and he still ain't in here. Like,
he got too. His backwood must have got too good to him tonight.
No, he's getting ready for his little trip. He got a trip coming up this
it's
week.
His birthday this week, so
shout
out, happy birthday to Flag.
Flag's birthday's on what, Saturday? I think it's Saturday.
Yes, I think it is Saturday. I know it's the what, the 22nd?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
I think so. Hold on. What day is
it? Yeah, today's 22nd Saturday. We're right.
Yep.
Boom.
Hey, see y'all next week, man. Thanks for tuning in. It's the Berg Boys.
Later.